All right, good evening, Rising Stars. I am excited to chat with you tonight. Hopefully this is going through okay and not glitching too bad because I am using my personal hotspot on my cell phone and it's not the best in terms of internet service. So tonight we're talking about intention. I'm actually going to go ahead and mute everybody before I keep going, just in case more people pop on. So glad to see you, Amanda. All right. And then let me open the chat back up for us. Chat. Cool. All right. So tonight I want to talk about intention. The theme for September that I decided to go with for our team page was simplify. We're going to keep it simple September, and that's the teacher in me, the KISS that comes out. She is cute doing those dishes. I like it. Adulting real hard in the background there. This month, the theme is keeping it simple. And my heartbeat was, after hearing in August a lot of feedback from our team on just how overwhelmed people were feeling, how stressed out people were feeling, just things that, really, we don't do this business to add stress to our plate. We don't do this business to feel overwhelmed. No one on our team page said, I joined Inspire Beauty because I wanted to feel overwhelmed. When I asked the other day, that wasn't the reason, that wasn't the intention behind why we joined. And so I was trying to rack my brain of how can I help solve this problem? And a lot of times, the answer is more, like, what can I give you to solve this problem? And then I thought, you know what, maybe I need to just take stuff away and simplify. And as business builders on the Rising Stars page, I think this applies to more than anyone else on the team page because I'm getting the overwhelm, the stress, the anxiety from my business builders, from our leaders on the team who feel like as you're trying to build this business with other hats that you wear and roles on the side, that it can be completely overwhelming at times. And guys, everyday work, any work we do at times can feel like it's very routine. It can feel very boring. It can feel overwhelming. It can feel stressful. And sometimes it can just feel like one more thing on your plate. And if you've been feeling that way or at any point in your business you felt that way before, I want to first of all remind you that this is normal. It's normal to feel stressful or overwhelmed or feel like the work you're doing is just kind of routine and boring at times in any job. I always say that if somebody came and sat with me for the day, my life would not be very fun. You'd be so bored. Brittany, this is really what you do all day? Yeah, it is. It's exactly what I do all day. The grind to actually get to the glory, right? The grind that it took me, right now, this might seem really great. Oh, Brittany's running a Zoom. I can't wait for one day when I can run Zooms and have my team on and talk to them. But the boring hour that I spent, you guys, today, reading article after article, taking notes, educating myself, prepping for this was pretty boring. It was pretty routine. It wasn't glamorous. It wasn't very sexy, okay? And this business can look really shiny on the outside, but then once you actually have to get into the grind of things, it really can feel sometimes like one more additional thing on your plate. And the reason why I want to talk through intention tonight is when I was surveying you guys and hearing about where you feel stressed in your business or where you feel like you're struggling most, and you guys dug deep and you said, you gave me answers that were not surface level. They weren't just I'm stressed about inviting. Okay, I get that, but what about it, And you guys really unveiled some areas where in your business you just feel like maybe you're not measuring up, right? And I have to tell you that A, first of all, that's normal, but B, sometimes we just need to clear out all of the excess clutter and remind ourselves of what our intention is, what our deep desire is. Because once we're clear on our intent, once we're clear on our deep desire for what we want to do in September, October, November, all the way to the end of 2018, once we can do that, then we can remind ourselves, you guys, on a daily basis of why we're doing what we're doing. Sometimes when I sit down or I get a message from someone and it's another coach, and they're saying, oh man, so-and-so said this today, or I'm hearing all these no's, or I'm really frustrated. First of all, I've been there, and so I can sympathize and empathize to the max when I get those messages. But the other thing is, when I have those moments of hard. You know, you hear a lot of no's. You're sitting at SC0 for a long time, or you just feel like maybe this is going a lot slower than you envisioned when you decided to join this. Reminding myself of why I'm actually here allows me that space to motivate myself to take action then. So intent, you guys, is different than goals. Tonight, as our first Zoom call of the month, I'm not going to sit here and tell you, I want to hear your September goals. I trust and believe that you guys as business builders all are doing that on your own. That you're taking a second to say, okay, what do I want to do by the end of 2018? Where do I want to be? What do I need to accomplish this month? And what is my mini goal for the week, okay? And I always love to share those with you, what mine are, just so that you get a feel and a taste for like where my heart is each week and where my heart is each month. And my numbers and my yearly and monthly stuff are very similar to what I've shared with you guys in the past. But one of my big goals that I actually went to this week, because a monthly goal for me right now, you guys, is beyond just like SC5 and whatever. It's actually more of an intention. It's more of a feeling. And it's to ditch the bloat. I have gotten so bloated lately on a personal level. I don't know why. It's so weird. And so I'm like really uncomfortable in my skin. And so I've decided like I need to walk more. Brittany, you need to get off your booty and like walk a little bit more. And so one of my weekly goals is to walk, run every single day this week and try to hit at least 10,000 steps each day this week. And so when I talk about like adding goals to your plate, I'm not talking necessarily about like something that is like, obviously this week that's kind of measurable, right? But the feeling is what I want at the end of this month. I want to feel like just a little bit more comfortable in my skin, if that makes sense, and feel proud of myself. And so intention, you guys, is different than goals. Goals are task oriented. Okay. They come from your mind and they have an end result, right? I'm going to hit SC10 this month. I want to add 3 coaches to my downline this month. I would like to be diamond by the end of 2018. Those have an end result to them, and they are task-oriented, meaning I have to create a list of things to do and check those things off to hit that goal, right? Intents, you guys, are emotional, and they come from the soul, okay? Us being a lot of blues on this team, I feel like you guys are going to thrive hearing that. And I don't want you, so this month it's less about setting the goals. I know you all know what your baseline goals should be, right? Inviting the people, hitting Success Club, adding at least 2 new coaches each month, like going Emerald again, right? We know what our baseline should be and tracking it in the process, right? Like making sure we're doing the stuff. But the intention behind it, you guys, is what I think we're missing. Because when we feel overwhelmed and we feel stressed, all of a sudden it can just feel like work. It can feel like one more thing on your plate. One of the things that I had asked, or I had told you, if you are in the thread of our Balanced and Beautiful group, not all of you guys are in that message thread because you're not coach admins in that group necessarily, but the coach admins in that group, I got a sense last week that people were getting really stressed out over, honestly, not that big of a task at hand. But that task that had been assigned to everyone felt really heavy because it felt like that one more thing. And what I expressed to the ladies in that thread was, guys, my heart right now isn't for your overwhelm and your task, but my heart is for the people that need us, right? That is my why. My why right now, when I sat down, I feel overwhelmed at times and I feel like there's one extra thing to do on my plate and I feel like the to-do list never ends. But when I sit down and I can align myself with the idea that there are people out there that need me and that there might be somebody's life that needs to be saved this month, and our tools that we have in our community could be the catalyst for change for someone, that's when I know that's when it's easier to sit down and do the hard things, or do the things that maybe aren't so hard, but just that extra thing that is on your plate, right? I don't know if everybody read Crystal's testimony and why she joined Inspire Beauty in our Keep It Simple, but you guys, that's my challenger, that's my coach, and I didn't really know the whole truth of that, and I sat there just like in awe. If you haven't read it, go read her little testimony about why she joined the challenge groups and then ultimately why she became a coach. But you guys, there's power in that. Do you think for a second, the day that I sat down And I probably didn't want to invite that day. Let's be real. I could have probably been on my 10th no of the day. I could have been sitting at SC0 just desperate for somebody to say yes at that point. I don't remember the specifics, right? Because I also could have been like flying high that month too. Who knows? But imagine that day if I decided not to do the work because it felt like one extra thing. And imagine if I never reached out to Crystal, who in that moment needed this community. She needed something because she was at a place at a very deep low in her life, right? Imagine if I was like, I just don't feel like it today. And I didn't go on with my messages. There is power in what you do, but it comes with the intention behind it. And I think it's important that we every so often become reminded of why we're doing this. So quick activity, you guys. It's not going to take too long at all. But hopefully if you've got pencil, paper, or something in front of you, I want you to write down, like, and I'll just give you like 30 seconds, but I just want you to write down, like, right now, tonight, what is it, September 4th, 2018, what do you want? Like, when I ask you that question, what do you want? Jot it down, brainstorm it if you don't have something in front of you. And when you're done, if you'd like to share it in the chat, that'd be awesome. Now, whatever the first thing that came to your mind, you guys, if you would be willing to share it with us in the chat, that would be great. And as you're wrapping up and starting to type that in there, keep in mind, I didn't ask you, what do you have to hit this month, or what's required of you, right? Or where's the bar set in your expectations? No, like, I want to know, what do you want? And notice also, I didn't say business, and I didn't say life, and I didn't say relationships, and I didn't say any category, so it can be open-ended to anything. Elizabeth, wake up each day with a smile on my face. I'm going to say these out loud if you don't mind, because since it is a recording, people won't be able to read what we're brainstorming. Find a routine that allows me to find balance in my business, school, and self-care. I don't want to be on overload and the others to be lacking. Want one to be overload and the others to be lacking. Yep. I wrote down financial freedom and a farm. You and your farm, girl. I love it. Committing to my list each day. Financial freedom, able to sustain our family and our own income through realty, and Beachbody, and to move my family to a big old farm and slow down our pace. I don't know if you follow Micah Folsom, Lindsay, but you should. She is a really, really successful Beachbody coach. Micah, M-I-C-A-H, Folsom. She's really successful, and she owns a farm, and so every day on her story she's like out there feeding the goats, and like, yeah,
so awesome. Yeah, she's my soul sister.
Yes, totally. So you should follow her. I just realized you need to follow her. Okay, committing to my list each day. So
I will.
I love it. So the first thing that comes to mind when I ask, or anyone asks, what do you want? A lot of times we come up with a material answer, right? Maybe a material desire. Okay, I would say that in general, I would say Amanda and Elizabeth and Natalie, it's more of, well, I would say Amanda and Natalie, it's more of a behavior that you're looking to get into. Lindsay, I would peg that more material. And then I would peg Elizabeth that's kind of a behavior / emotion. Yeah. And the thing that I would ask next, you guys, is now that you wrote that one down, I want to push you a little further and ask you why. Why is it important? And a few of these aren't exactly like a material possession that you want in your hand, but I think you can unveil these a little bit and dig deeper. with why do you want that? Why is it important to wake up each day with a smile on your face? Why is it important for you to find a routine so that you don't feel overloaded in certain areas and then lacking in others? Why is that financial freedom and farm so important to you? And why is it important that you commit to those lists each and every day? And while you're kind of brainstorming why, also consider what desire will that fulfill? You know, is it a desire to just feel less stress and overwhelm? Is it a desire to find joy and peace? Is it a desire just maybe, I want you to think of, because it helps when I feel at peace that I've done my best. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Who is this, Lindsay? We all need to be introduced.
You can say hi now.
Hi.
Hi. What's your name?
What?
What is your name?
Eliza.
My name is Brittany. Elijah.
Okay. That's Elijah. He has to go now. Sorry.
I love it. Like you've done your best. I love that. And I think that it's important to note as well that at different times in our life, like this whole and I love that Natalie just put to find balance. And I'm giving my all to all the things I'm working with. I think as women, you guys, we tend to list all these categories, right? Career, finances, relationships, self-care. Like we list all these categories and we want to balance all of them where like my relationships are going to get 25% of my time and my self-care will get 25% of my time and my work will get 25% of my time and my, whatever. But the truth is it's not always possible. Balance doesn't mean equal. And I want you to remember that. Balance doesn't mean equal. And everyone's frozen. So if I am frozen, please tell me. I know my face might be, but my voice. Balance does not mean equal. Okay? Because then if everything's in balance, you guys, nothing is a priority to you. Does that make sense? Like if we say, okay, well, I'm going to invest as much time and energy in my teaching right now as I do in my Beachbody, well, that doesn't even make sense because you have to be at school for, 6-8 hours a day. That's literally doing the math takes more time of your day than Beachbody will, right? But when we can remove the overwhelm by allowing space for everything, right? And saying that this will get its space so that at this moment I can give it my all, right? When I plug into Beachbody, I will give it my all so that by the time I shut my laptop down or close my tracker, I feel great about the work I did. When I'm with my family or my friends or doing social things, I will be completely present there so that when I'm done with that quality time with my family, I can say that I gave it my all, even if my all was only 2 hours that day or 30 minutes that day, right? Because that's all the time you had. So I want you guys to also be careful about everything's got to be balanced because balance, again, like I said, isn't equal. Let me keep reading through these. To find balance, I feel like I'm giving my all to all the things I'm working on. My why, more quality time with my little tribe. Absolutely. And I think that's important to note, we get to the end of our lives and I think that it's not going to be did I get my power hour tracker done today? No, but knowing that the work that you did will allow you to live the life that you want to live and the ease and have more choices down the road, I think that's super important. None of the qualities that we want by the end of September, I'm going to guarantee are stress, overwhelm, all that other stuff. I want you to think of the qualities you want to feel at the end of this month. Some of them that came to mind when I was brainstorming were love, connection and friendship. I want to feel closer to the people that I'm working with. By the end of the month, I want to know my challengers and my newer coaches better. I want to forge more friendships with people on Inspire Beauty beyond just, the business side of things. I want to feel joy at the end of September and proud in a good way, not an ego way, but just joy and pride that I did great work, right? Not that I worked myself to the bone, but that I did great work. I want purpose and meaning at the end of the month. I want to feel like every day when I woke up, it mattered. That if I wasn't there, in the group that somebody would have missed me, right? That my work has meaning behind it. And so I want you to think of some qualities you want to feel at the end of this month. Kind of reverse engineering this, you guys. Meaning, I want you to write the feelings first, the emotions first, and then I want you to work towards your goals that you've set so that you feel that. I don't want you to get to the end of the month and you hit SE5, but along the way there was no purpose in what you did. You have zero joy at the end of the month and you don't feel any connection to our team or your challengers. So what? You hit SE5 then. Like, who cares, right? I think that if we take this month and focus on the feeling, the work doesn't feel as heavy. The work doesn't feel as stressful, and it won't feel like one extra thing on your plate when you already might be feeling super overwhelmed, okay? So I started this whole month off talking about intention because I want you guys to breathe and know that the work you're doing matters. Every single one of you on this call right now, I mean, man, you guys show up. You guys show up big time to your businesses. And I hope you realize that that doesn't go unnoticed at all, like at all. And so the work you did in August, if it felt stressful and heavy, know that you checked off the benchmarks to get to goals, but maybe this month, try to do it with a little bit of intention as to why you're doing this, so that when you have to motivate yourself to take that action, it just doesn't feel like one extra bit of stress. Does that make sense? That's really all I got tonight. I just wanted to give a little pep talk. People can unmute if you've got a desire to choose joy each day. It's for the others to respond. Yeah. And it starts, I mean, it's crazy because you guys have such a gift as teachers. When you walk into that classroom, it's like, there's no off switch. Like, you've got to be on for those kids, right? So starting with you, absolutely. Does anyone have anything for us? Anything to add?
I don't have much to say, but I'm super excited for this new challenge group, the Balanced and Beautiful. I love the idea of everyone giving 1 day a week and already having it done. That just took a load off my plate.
Yeah, I think this is the first time I've ever done a group with so many coaches running it. So like, there's a total OCD, like anxiety level from me on my end. But I love that everything is already done, because now all you have to worry about, like, you just worry about doing the back end of the work, not like, oh my gosh, I forgot to post today, or I've got to get my posts done and I don't have time, you know. That stress level is gone. And if I can be honest with you guys, that's how I run the majority of my groups. For example, the Mindset Makeover on Facebook, I don't know if you guys are a part of that, but that is the To Be Mindset group. And I post Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday in that group because it's like an ongoing group. And I post it out a month in advance. So I don't have to worry about what am I going to say to my people. All I worry about is going into the group on a day-to-day basis or whenever the post comes up and making sure that I'm, you know, there cheering everybody on and, you know, replying if people are commenting. But that is a practice that I hope after this month, you guys will then take with you, just as like a hack, a Brit hack of what I do to make my life easier on a day-to-day basis.
I have a question on that. Right now we're running that September yoga group in Facebook, and it's the first group that I've run in Facebook. Mm-hmm. So when you pre-post, are you doing that in the app, or are you using a secondary app to pre-post?
The app allows us
to schedule your posts.
Yeah. The app for my challenge tracker, you can pre-schedule, right? In Facebook groups.
Right.
Say that again?
Yeah. In Facebook groups, you can.
Mm-hmm. So there is I'm going to show you really quick. There is right here, when I want to write a post, come on. Anyway, my computer's going nice and slow. There we go. Okay, next to post, see schedule the timer. I can then set this for tomorrow at 7 a.m. Schedule it. And then once it's done, I'll see in black right up here, once this gets out of the way, that I have a scheduled post. Stop the share. Oh, my computer is going so slow. I'm so sorry, you guys, about this slow internet situation. I feel like I'm uber mega frozen right now. Lindsay, did that help? Did that even work?
Yeah, I think I can see it. Yeah. Thank you.
Or at least there's a clock.
I will play around with it. I saw where you went into post and like where you were, but I didn't see the little clock. It skipped over that part, of course.
Yeah, next to instead of clicking post, there's a clock, and you clock, and then a scheduler pops up, and you schedule it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem. Anything else, guys? Keep these intentions in the forefront of your mind. And when I asked you, what do you want this month? Or just what do you want in general? Keep that in the forefront of your mind as well, right? So when you want to choose the easier, thing in the moment, is that what you really want long-term, right? So in the moment, I don't want to finish my to-do list, but long-term, Miss Natalie, I should finish the list I crafted, right? Or long-term, I want that farm, right? So keep those in the forefront. Intentions, guys, I hope I'm like making any sense right now. I feel like I'm talking to a wall because everything's so glitchy. Thank you guys so much for bearing with me tonight, though. I'm going to snap a picture, and if this recording is legit, actually, I'm not even going to snap a picture because y'all are frozen in like weird positions, so it wouldn't even be fair at this point. It's not fair. It would be really unfair. All right, you guys, I love you so much. If you have questions for me, you know where to find me / go to the Rising Stars page. Love you guys. Have a great night.